Hello everyone, in this video we're going to discuss the difference between experimental probability and theoretical probability. So let's start with experimental. So how this video is going to work, we're going to talk about experimental probability first, we'll do an example with that. Then we'll look at theoretical probability, do an example with that, and then we'll compare the two and see kind of how they relate to one another, okay? So starting with the experimental at the top, it says experimental probability that is based on repeated trials of an experiment. So it's aptly named, it's experimental, we're conducting some experiments, it's hands-on. And so we have a quotient for this. We're going to say the probability of the event, that's what the P event stands for, probability of the event, is equal to the number of times the event occurs over the total number of trials. So, we flip a coin 100 times, it lands on tails X amount of times, it's X over 50 because we did it 50 times, right? So another example we could look at, and one that you'll see quite often with probability, is rolling a numbered dice or a die. So on a dice, we've got 6 sides, it's a cube, we got sides labeled 1 through 6 with little dots, right? So let's say we roll a dice here, and we are looking at our numbers that we're going to get, right? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we want to figure out what is the experimental probability that we rolled a 2. Okay, now we got to figure out how many times we rolled this dice. So we could look at the frequency at the bottom, we can add those up. So we got 10 and 4, which is 14. 14 and 8 would be 22. We have an 11 and 11 there, which would be another 22. So 22 and 22 would be 44. And then we have 6. So we know that we have rolled this dice 50 times. Okay, so rolling a 2, we're going to look at this column right here. We only rolled a 2 4 times. So we rolled a 2 4 times out of 50 times. So 4 out of 50 would be our experimental probability, but we could reduce that fraction to 2 over 25. And then let's also write it as a decimal and as a percentage. So as a decimal, it's out of 100, right? So if we look back at 4 out of 50, if we just multiply the top and the bottom by 2, that would give us 8 out of 100, which would be 0.08, and that is 8%. Okay, so the probability that we rolled a 2 was pretty low, 8%, because we rolled a dice 50 times and it only happened 4 times, right? Okay, let's look at the next one, rolling an even number. So the even numbers, we still have an arrow above 2, let's do 4 and 6. So even numbers, we have 4 times, 11 times, and 6 times. So 4 times, 11 times, and 6 times. So that's going to be 21 times, and remember we still rolled the dice 50 times. So 21 out of 50 would be our fraction. And then as a decimal, we would call that 0.42 because remember a decimal is out of 100. So if we multiply the top and the bottom by 2 to give us a denominator of 100, 21 times 2 would be 42. So that's where the 0.42 is coming from. And as a percent, we would get 42%. So that's experimental probability. We conducted an experiment, said number of times. We take one of those results, rolling a 2, rolling an even number, and we see how many times it happened out of the number of times that we did the experiment. Let's look at theoretical now. Okay, so theoretical is the quotient of the number of favorable outcomes and the number of possible outcomes. So this is when all possible outcomes are equally likely, right? Think about flipping a coin. It's either going to land on heads or it's going to land on tails. So it's got a 1/2 chance, 50% chance that it's going to land on either one of those in theory, right? So our equation here now is the probability of the event is equal to the number of favorable outcomes divided by the number of possible outcomes. So let's take a look at an example. Let's say we have in a bag, we have 7 cards, and each card has a letter of the word integer. So we have how many cards? I-N-T-E-G-E-R. We have 7 cards in the bag, and each card has one of the letters on it. So how many possible outcomes do we have if we reach our hand in the bag and we pull out a letter? Well, we have 7, right? So there's 7 possible outcomes. Now I know there's 2 E's in there, but they're different, right? And so what's the theoretical probability of choosing a vowel? So our vowels here, we have I, we have E, and we have another E. Our other letters are N, T, G, and R. Those would be consonants. So the probability that we reach in the bag and pull out a vowel, well, we have 3 vowels in the bag. How many total cards are in the bag? There are 7. So we'd say our theoretical probability is 3 over 7. So if we wanted to write that as a decimal, we could divide that, 3 divided by 7. And let's say it's about 43%, so it's about 0.43. And we'll say it's about 43% chance, okay? So that's theoretical. We didn't conduct 50 experiments. We didn't do this 50 times. We're just saying, hey, in theory, what should the probability be, right? So we're not really conducting a bunch of experiments, just doing it one time, and we can get a theoretical probability. Okay, so now let's compare the two. Okay, let's say we have a cube again, or a dice, and we're going to roll it 300 times. So there's our experiment there. And so we're going to find the experimental probability of rolling an even number, and then let's find the theoretical probability of rolling an even number. Okay? All right, so we have on the side there 1 through 6 and how many times that each of those numbers came up on the dice. So when we rolled a 1, it came up 48 times, 2 53 times, 3 50 times, and 4 52 times, 5 49, and 6 48. So if we added up those 6 numbers, it's going to equal 300, just trust me. Okay? So the experimental probability of rolling an even number. So even, we got 2, we've got 4, and we've got 6. Okay? So that was 53, 52, and 48. So 53, 52, and 48. That's 153. Okay? How many times did we roll the dice or the cube? 300 times, right? So now let's divide that, 153 divided by 300, and that will give us 0.51, which is 51%. Okay, now let's think about the theoretical probability of rolling an even number. Well, we have 6 numbers, right? 1 through 6. How many of them are even? There are 3 that are even, right? How many total numbers are there? There are 6. And if we reduce that, it would be 1/2, which would be 0.5, which is 50%. Okay, so now notice our 2 probabilities here. Very, very similar, right? Because we conducted this experiment 300 times. So that leads us to this reality here. As the number of trials increases, the experimental probability gets closer to the theoretical probability. Okay, so closer, had a little typo there, gets closer to the theoretical probability. So since we did this 300 times, in theory, 50% of those rolls should be an even number. So the more times we conduct this experiment, the closer that number is going to get to 50, right? If we only did it a couple times, okay, maybe it's less than 50%, but then later on, we're going to get some more results of even numbers, so it's going to even itself back out and get closer to that theoretical probability. Okay, so that's a little bit about experimental versus theoretical probability.